Hello, farmers, and welcome back to Oceanside Forest, where nothing has gotten done in between episodes. So I need to finish drilling this field of sorghum up on the hillside field. Not much more to go, and I think I got enough fertilizer, definitely got enough seed to finish off this job, I do hope. It's only going to take a couple passes. May look like a lot, but with this drill, we should get it done in no time flat. And then we're just going to skip right on to the month of May, which we'll have to come up here and spray for some weeds. Not the whole field, just the field that was harvested last season. Everything else that was plowed during the off season, no weeds will grow there, so we should be all set. And then I think we're just going to skip right on to the month of June or July, depending on when our crops are ready for harvest. And then we'll get the harvest season started. The one thing I got to remember to do after I finish planting this field is I want to reset the values of precision farming on this lot of land, which is all of our farmland, which pretty much is the whole map. There are only 3 lots. Lot 1 basically is the farmyard. Lot 2 is where the birds are, along with our production buildings. And the 3rd lot, which is the rest of the map, is pretty much where all of our fields are. And I want to keep track of how much we're harvesting off of our farmlands throughout the season. Last year was just over 1 million liters. I'm hoping for 1.4 million liters maybe this year. I think we'll get more than, well, I said that last year. I would really like to get 1.5 million. That'd be great. Our overall goal on this map, I got to get somewhere around 1.8 million liters off of our farmland to feed 10,000 birds. I did go ahead and feed the rest of the birds in between episodes. Well, actually, just a few minutes ago, I topped them all off. So we got 4 coops going. Each coop can hold 2,000 birds. 2 of them are full. The second chicken coop is just barely getting going, so I think we're almost up to 100 there, but it's not going to take long, as you have seen, to get up to 2,000 birds in a pen. And as for the second pen of ducks, we just barely started that, and I think I just barely put in the 8 female ducks in with a lone male duck in there, so it's going to take, I mean, by the end of harvest season, it could be pretty close to full. We'll have to wait and see. Months do go by quickly. If you're unfamiliar of what's going on here with the birds and why they reproduce rather quickly, we have the enhanced animal mod going, so that's why we got ducks. And every time a chicken or a duck has offspring, it's not just one. I think it's 9 to 13 that they can have. So yeah, the population goes up rather quickly. And our goal here now is 10,000 birds. That's why we need 1.8 million liters of grain off of our fields to feed that many birds. Probably going to take a couple more years. We got this year. Like I said, I hope to get up to 1.5 million liters of harvesting. And then I've already started expanding, well, not expanding, but we can cutting down a lot of trees down by the power line fields, so we can expand that in the off season, which is like another 5 months away. And that is where we're going to hopefully get up to our 1.8 million liters of harvest next season. And then we'll probably have 1 more year after that, because it'll take a little while for the birds to reproduce in the final pen. I don't want to start putting birds in there now because, well, I don't have the feed to keep up with them. So that's the whole point. So we got to wait and not put birds in that final pen till we know that we can kind of keep up with feeding the birds. Bird, bird, bird. The bird is the word. There's an oldie song for you. But anyways, yeah, so we got to finish up planting this field and kill the weeds and then move on to harvest season. It's going to take a while to get the harvest field done. I'm hoping to do the farmyard field first. I think that took about 40 minutes to harvest, maybe a little bit longer than that. With a 60-foot header, we can kind of get it done, but if I get it started at the end of this episode, and then I can probably do a little bit in between, and that way I can finish up at the beginning of next episode. That way I don't have to do a whole bunch of work as I'm recording. At least we'll get ourselves a good start. So, I mean, this field here, it may be kind of hard to tell now, but this field here, last year, we got like 350,000 liters off this field, but we have more than double the size of it. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty close to like 700, 800,000 liters off this field alone. And then the farmyard field last year, we got 750,000 liters off of that. So if we combine this field and that field, that should be around 1.5 million liters, correct? Then we got the Harbor Field, which is, I mean, it's not a small field. That's for, you know, if we go by standard maps, I guess. That field will be considered kind of on the large side, not big, but it's on the large side. And of course, we got the 2 power line fields, which of course we'll consider small for this map. So right where I'm drilling now, you can see where there's no weeds or anything. This is the additional part of the field. And you can see where the weeds kind of start. That's where the field ended last season. So right from those trees over there on the right-hand side, if you draw kind of like a straight line up through here, that's kind of where the field was. And then from the trees on over and everything behind me, and then around, and kind of like over behind us there to the left, and around to the other side of the road, that is what we added in the off-season. A lot of trees were cut. A lot of trees were harmed during the filming of those episodes. But they've been put to good use. They've been made into planks, beams, and wood beams, or what have you. Some into wood chips. And we found 2 pieces of cheese up here in the corner. So I think overall, I found 4 pieces of cheese on this map. I'm not looking for them. The first one was easy. That was down in the harbor. The second one is on the big rock down by the farmyard. And then 2 pieces of cheese up here in the corner. I think the modder of the map probably didn't really care too much about the pieces of cheese at the end. That's why there was 2 of them next to one another. And I only removed them because they were in the middle of our field. They needed to be taken out. But we refunded the money because the pieces of cheese on this map are worth $1 million a piece. 1, I don't need the money. And 2, collecting collectibles has not been my thing since early FS17. Back then I always wanted the money. But now I just, I always play in hardcore. I always try to get... trying to earn my money, even if I start off a let's play with like say $500,000 in the bank. I always try to repay that. All right, so we are done drilling for the year. So while this is folding on up, I want to go into our precision farming. I want to go in here. I want to click on. This is what I'm saying about lot number 3. It's pretty much the whole map. Here's lot number 1. That's where the chickens are and our production buildings. And lot number 2 is where we're parking everything. I just want to go ahead and reset values. Yeah, it says we made... Well, the money's going down because the tractor's running, and I think that's the fuel is charging me for the fuel on it. But I just want to reset the values because you can see we harvested 1,017,864 liters off the field. So let's go ahead and reset those values, and then we can keep track of how we did this coming year. One thing I don't know, this came to my mind. I don't know if they keep track of all the previous stats. Like I just reset. Can I go back and see the previous stats to see if it increased or not? I have no idea. But it doesn't matter what the year was before. Definitely we're going to get a bigger yield this year than last season. I am going to drive on the field here. The road's right there, but I may actually have to drive into the crop to get around the poles. Now we should be fine over here. That is, I think that's wheat on the left-hand side of us. And I think the power line fields, which is ahead of us, is barley. And so is the harbor field. What do I got here for crops? Am I correct? No, I got it backwards. So that's barley, and this is wheat, and that is wheat over there. Oh yeah, and if you're also wondering how many hectares we got, 64.02. And currently, we are expanding over here, as you probably saw last episode. And we'll be getting to a little bit of that later on. Once we get the harvester going, we'll get one of the Franks to... Ooh, what did I just hit? Oh no. Really? The big bud gets through? You're going to tell me this can't get through? Interesting. Just trying to see how the big bud is getting through, but the seed trailer did not. Interesting. Don't know. We'll worry about it next time I come up here, which won't be until next season. Actually, it'll be this fall. I apologize. Sorghum will be turned into barley. We plant barley in the fall. So we'll be back up here in September to replant that field. We're not expanding that field. We're expanding this one right over here. As you can see where the power line field is and where we've gotten to so far. Let's get the Big Bud and our seed drill on home. Not going to bother parking it away. It's going to just sit out in the sun throughout the summer. Actually, can I park it in here? If I got room, I'll park it in here. Get it out of the sun at least. Let's see here. If I just... Right there would be good. Detach that. And then we'll just put the Big Bud. Can the Big Bud just park right in here? I think so. Alright. Actually, that's a pretty good parking spot for the bigger drill. Kind of fits in there perfectly. I mean, the pipe sticks out a little bit for the seed tank. And the tongue of the drill kind of sticks out on this side of the shed. But the majority of it is in the shed itself. Yeah, so the birds should be all set. I just fed them. Production buildings really don't care about. So let's go ahead and sleep until next month. And then we'll grab our Jatco See and Spot weed sprayer. Head up to the hillside field. We got to get rid of those weeds. Weeds are no bueno. No good. And apparently we got too many eggs, which is one thing I kind of forgot about. Let's jump into here. Yeah, I thought I took care of these last time, but apparently I did not. All right, you know what I'm going to do? Is let me just... I'm just going to push these all over here so new ones can spawn. I'm not really caring too much about the eggs overall. We don't need the money. And in here we should be fine. We should only have one male. And there he is. We got 2,000, but we shouldn't have any baby birds. All the baby birds that were born were immediately sold. Not that it matters because we're not going to get any money for them. And let me just teleport over to this pen over here, which is the ducks. Actually, it does say sold animals, and it does show like a couple $100 here and there. Probably a lot of birds are being born. There we go. So I got room for those to spawn. These over here, I don't think I'll have any eggs over here. Ooh, we do got eggs over here. Oh, that's right, because we do have 51 birds in here. Do we have any young males? No. So these females here, I can't see if they're going to reproduce or not. I'm sure they will be. Reproduction's at 50%, reproduction's at 0. So that's fine. But we got nothing but females in there. And over here is the new duck pen, which nothing should be done over here. One male. They're getting ready to reproduce, and those are not. All right, so we should be all set in the birds. Let's go ahead and grab our... Is it Jatco? That's the way I'm going to pronounce it. Our Jatco See and Spot weed sprayer. Got plenty of herbicide. I'm not sure you'd want to spray the herbicide in the rain. So since we're really going to skip to the day anyways, let me just fast forward to time here. What time is the rain going to stop? I have no idea. Let's check the forecast. Let's see. Rain should stop at 9 o'clock. Or maybe 10 o'clock. There, it says the rain has stopped. Alright, we'll just go ahead and do this. So 2,000 liters of herbicide is more than enough, since we're only doing See and Spot weed spraying, to get rid of the weeds up here. And I think the working width of this is 42 meters, and the working speed is like 16 miles an hour, so it's not going to take me too long to get this taken care of. But we should come up here and see some freshly sprouted sorghum. Start unfolding this. Watch out for the poles and the trees. I need to scroll back a little bit. As long as we get the majority of it. Let me make sure the See and Spot weed spraying is on. Yes, we should be all set here. Let's go ahead and turn this on. And actually, I should lower that down a little bit. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't turn it on here. Thought I did. My bad. I was like, whoa, that working speed is a lot faster than I thought it was. That's because you don't actually have it turned on. They're a genius. And stop hitting trees. So like I said, we just got to spray the weeds. And you'll be able to see where the field was last year. Because as I mentioned before, wherever you plowed, which is where we expanded the field, weeds will not grow for the first season. Or at least for the next season. If I were to keep plowing the fields over and over again, I would never have to spray for weeds. But the See and Spot weed sprayer has been my go-to recently. Only because we got the money to do so. This is not a cheap machine. I think this is just over $500,000 for it. But it's just like the Hardy sprayer. I think that's like $425,000. So we should be harvesting this in September. I'm going to get confused because on American Falls, as I found out, harvest time is in August. Now let me just double check when the sorghum is harvestable here. Sorghum, it is August. Okay. I got September in my mind for some reason. And we don't have to worry about fertilizer because with precision farming, when we plant, they'll put in the right amount of fertilizer. Although with precision farming, technically you should be going back in to fertilize at the last growth stage because the crop is slowly draining the fertilizer, the nitrogen, out of the ground as it grows. So it's probably not completely 100% anymore. It may be like at 93, 94%. It's going to be kind of hard for me to see where the weeds start and stop because they're not mature enough to see. But if I go here, I can kind of get a rough idea where I need to go. I've already gone past it. All right, so let's go ahead and just turn this around a little bit. Yeah, I think I can kind of see them. If I scroll in, I can see them a little bit better. I probably could have waited another month, but then the crop will be higher, although we would be fine. We wouldn't have crop destruction because these are row crop tires. But I'd rather get it done in the first growth stage. I am overlapping here quite a bit, but I just want to make sure we do get the edge as much as possible. How am I doing here? It looks like I'm doing good. And if I leave up the mini-map, it's not like with fertilizer. If I leave the map up and I'm fertilizing, it'll show me where I've been fertilizing. It doesn't do that with the weeds. It doesn't say, you know, you got weeds here and not there. So the road that you see in front of us, that used to cut straight down through and go all the way to that edge over there. But here we are. Did I get everything behind me? Pretty much. There's a little bit right here I'll get. like I said, don't really need to get every little thing. As long as I get the majority of it, I'm happy. And at least after I get, well, now I should be fine because I can see the edge of the field here. But yeah, it should be a little bit easier now because the weeds, as they die, turn a brownish color, so I might be able to see a little bit better where I need to go. Spray the deer with some herbicide, why not? If the whole field needed herbicide, I may have put it on a worker, but this is going to really just take me like 3 to 5 minutes to get done. And then pretty soon here, once we get this done, we'll just fast forward on to the next month. I will double check on the birds, but they should be fine for feed until harvest season. Let me just scroll back a little bit. That way I can see my complete working width. Like I said, I don't mind overlapping because see and spot weed spraying, it's only going to spray where the weeds are. That's why we're not going through the herbicide hardly at all. But within a couple more minutes, I will be done with this. All I can really do as I go around this field is keep on guesstimating. That's right, that's a word, guesstimating. I'm guessing and estimating roughly where I need to be. I check the map once in a while just to be sure I'm getting the majority of them, which I am. I just had to go back on down, though, to the chicken and duck pen, the original ones, because it said they had no more room for eggs to spawn. I was like, I just moved them. Went down there, and it was full. So the eggs were moved once again. But like I said, I'm not too concerned about if the eggs aren't spawning, because we don't have no more room. If I needed the money, then of course, yeah, I'd be down there moving it. But yeah, I don't care about the money anymore. Stopped caring a long time ago. All right, so it looks like one more pass. In the future, though, like I said, when this whole field will be weeds, I'll probably just set it off on a worker, and I won't have to worry too much about it. Other than the occasional part to where when they do the first part of the handling, they may actually get stuck on a tree. So we'll double check here in just a moment. I'm not going to worry about if there's a little tiny piece here or there, but I think I got all of it. Alright, before I go ahead and turn this off, let's have a look. Yep, there's a little part here I can barely see, but I think that's where there's a telephone pole, and I didn't really drill up to that part. But overall, yeah, all the weeds are taken care of. Yeah, so we are all set. Let's go ahead and turn that off and start folding that up. While it's folding up, because I need that to fold up to go down the road, let me just check on the birds. And, oh, that's the pen with only a few ducks in it. They only need 1,500 liters per year, and currently we got 23,000. These right here, yeah, every 2 months I got to feed them, basically. So we'll have to feed them next month. But our barley should be ready. Not the wheat to the left, but the barley in front of us might be ready in the next month, along with the harbor field. So I'm going to bring this back to the farm, put it away. We'll sleep through the night like we've been doing. Because what else am I going to do? Other than cut down trees, which I don't feel like doing right now. But I'll see you in the month of June, and hopefully the barley fields are ready. And we'll get to harvesting. If they're not ready, then I may actually cut down some trees and we'll feed the birds. Well, June is here. We're selling all the birds that were created overnight in the overflowed pens. And our field is ready of barley. That is ready to go, as we can see right here. That is ready for harvest. So, let's go ahead and teleport. Well, we will need this. No, we don't. I got the other winter wolf. Let me find the combine. There's the combine. Bring that over to the field. The JCB will grab the header and bring that on over. And no, we're not making any straw bales. We're just chopping it on up. Let the engine warm up. All right, let's go grab the header, which should just be right over here where we park the drill and sea tank. This is the honeybee header. Did I completely miss the hitch? Yeah, I'm way far forward. There we go. Yeah, surprise, surprise, we're full of eggs. I'm pretty sure they're not low on food. I mean, they're going to be close. They're going to be low, but not low enough. Yeah, they got like 21,000 liters. Yeah, we got some new ducks there. I got to sell the males. I have to remember to do that. But let's get a worker started on harvesting the first of our few fields this year. Oh yeah, if you go too fast with that header, it will tip over, but it will straighten itself back up. Getting a little excited because it's harvest season. Somewhere about there would be good. A little bit more to the right. Alright, and then we got to take the rear of the trailer off. There it goes. Let's unfold the header itself. And I also got to unfold the combine, which the only thing that really unfolds is the step ladder to get on in. Alright, and let's come into here. Need this right here. Looks like I'm actually ready to... I actually had you starting up there. I probably harvested this field last year, then went over to this one. So let's clear the current course and create job. Field position here, and then I want you to go that way, and then we want you to do. I think 2 headlands ought to be good enough. I mean, a 60-foot header, that's 120 feet. Should be able to turn the combine around in that, I would assume. 3% overlap. I think that's going to be okay, and you won't hit any trees. Give course play a second, and actually I did that pretty darn quick. Let's make sure, yeah, straw swath is off. And the harvest has begun. Now, I may actually not get a chance to cut down any trees because we're going to be a little bit busy here for a little while doing some other things. All right, who do we get taking over in the combine? Please be Francine. And it looks like it is Francine, so we are all set to go. And then if I go here, this should be coming in. Yep, so we can see the amount of leaves that we've already harvested this year. Perfect. Where is my other Winter Wolf truck, I should say. Right over here. You know what? Let's go pick up the eggs. Combine's going to take a moment to fill on up. Let's go ahead and open this on up here. I'm not going to sell them today, but I just want to get the eggs out of the pens. So if I get really close, And we just do this. And as long as I don't walk around the open end of the autoloader, I'll be fine. If I walk through that section there, I kind of get a little bit laggy. Alright, let's bring these over to here. And just drag these down over here. I'll leave that door open because I got to feed the birds. Alright, okay, I think we got them all. If not, we got enough. There's Liberty over there. Let me back. Okay, these pens are... Okay, the pen is still going. I just want to make sure I'm lined up for the other one. I think if I cut through and went around there, I wouldn't be able to turn sharp enough to pick them on up. Yeah, I may have to go sell the eggs just because I don't think this trailer is going to be able to hold enough all the way until November to get the best price. But as I mentioned, do I really care about the money? No. So why am I trying to get the best price? I don't know. It's one of those things that you get into habits. You know when the best price is, you try to sell it then. But we don't need to wait until then. A full trailer will earn us on eggs about 100 grand. Oh, don't walk through that area. I'll lag out just about. All right, I think we're good enough. Actually, you know what? Why am I trying to back up through there? Let's just drive on through. All right, let's go sell these, but I got to be careful. I have tipped this over a couple of times turning with eggs in here. But it's always down in the harbor, and I'm not sure why. Once I get between the like the fuel pump and the first wood pile, that's where I always seem to tip over. Boy, in the beginning we were coming down to the harbor a lot to sell stuff. But now with everything on auto sell, if I could put the eggs on auto sell, I would. This is usually where I tip over. But not today, because I'm going to go extremely slow because I don't want to be trying to upright a trailer full of eggs. Let me undo the straps there. Yeah, I just updated Courseplay on the mod hub, and now it tells me that they need to be unloaded, but unfortunately I kind of need this tractor. I keep calling it a tractor, the truck, and grab the grain trailer. But it's good that they're already full. That thing holds like 24,000 liters. But then again, we need 1.8 million, right? Well, this year we're just hoping for 1.5. I'm hoping for that. We'll see if we get there. Come on, sell that one more. I'm trying to get it all in one go. Of course not. I guess the only problem with that new Courseplay let me know how much or what needs to be done. I can't see what I got for a total there. Eggs take forever to sell. And sold. Alright, let's bring this trailer back. And then we'll go grab the grain trailer, which is right next to it, and go help out Francine. She's waiting for us. And then I'll feed the two pens that definitely need feed, which are going to be the full ones. Yeah, originally everything was painted that orange color because we only had the one winter wolf, which is now just stuck on log duty. And this one is doing the grain and the eggs transportation. Yeah, unfortunately I can't use this grain trailer to feed the birds because it empties out underneath the trailer itself and I can't get into the triggers to feed the chickens that way. I do need to be careful. I don't want to be driving in my crop. But let's see where Francine made it to. I'm going to cut through the farmyard because why not? Oh, the course plate worker will put it on the swath. That's alright. He'll be taken care of when I replant, I hope. Probably a setting a course plate to where I can get rid of that. Am I going to be close enough? Perfect. Perfect, perfect. I do like this combine. I just wish it unloaded a little bit quicker. I probably said that enough throughout this series. But when it holds 24,000 liters, it takes a moment to unload. I mean, it's your good average unload rate. I don't want it to unload in 1 second either, but it's kind of hard to match everyone's liking on a mod, I suppose. So I should get about 6 trailer loads off this field if everything goes well. There we go, and I should be able to park this right here. And this should be pretty much in sync of what we're doing here. So 24,000, 22 liters. Everything is looking good. Yeah, so now we need to go down to our T8. And let me go grab a trailer load of sorghum from last season. I think we're down to just sorghum, but we have a good amount of it. Yep, still have 300,000 liters from last season. But we're going to burn through probably 100,000 liters of that pretty quickly right here. And we might as well take care of the ducks that are over here, because their feed trough is out. Be easier if I didn't leave the doors open, but I'm going to be going right back in there while this is emptying on in. Just to make sure everything is all set. So we didn't quite sell all the eggs, but or it could be that the eggs are just respawning or coming in that quickly. With 2,000 birds, yeah, the eggs are going to come in rather quick. Yep, we didn't quite fill up that feed trough. So we'll grab another 50 some odd thousand liters. Probably end up taking about 3 trailer loads out of here. So we had 300, so I'll probably end up with 150,000 left over. But we are harvesting the barley as we speak, so not to worry. We got plenty of feed for everyone. I'm trying to remember, how much is it per coop? Is it 300 and some odd thousand liters per coop? We'll just say 350 that they need per year. So 700,000. So since we got 4 coops up and running, I need 1.4 million liters harvested this year. Basically to keep up with the birds for another season. So that's why I guess I was shooting for 1.5 million. Although these first 2 coops, the one on our left and one on our right, they're not full of birds yet, so they're not really needing as much feed as these 2 are down here. We'll top this one off right here. Alright, let's go move that feed trough outside. I think personally what I would have done with this mod, since the pen holds 2,000 birds, I probably would have made the feed trough hold just a little bit more. Maybe double. But then again, like I said before, it's just my personal preference. Because you have to come in and feed the birds every 2 months, basically. And I do see that while that's loading up, let's go ahead and grab our Winter Wolf, and Francine is way up there. I think it's going to look a little bit weird when I do it, but when I go to replant this field, yeah, we can, I mean, the straw swath will just disappear. I'm pretty sure there's a setting in course play to where I can turn that off, to where it just chops the straw and doesn't actually put into a swath. I want to make sure I kind of park in front of it. I'm not close enough. Oh, I am close enough. Okay. I just want to make sure I park in front of it so the worker doesn't start trying to head off on me, because I don't have a path over here to go on. But there's almost 50,000 liters. And I mentioned before, last year this field did 750,000, but I think it's not going to be as good this year. Yeah, crop rotation last year, most of this field was 115%. It's down to 100, so we're going to lose like 10%. And that's quite a bit when you're going from 750,000. So that means we're going to lose about 75,000 liters of potential yield off this field this year. And next year it's going to be a little bit worse, because it's going to go right down to a flat 100%. Make sure that she doesn't hit the tree there. Yeah. Would have been fine if we were going in a straight line. But that tree was in, I was going to say the right spot or the wrong spot, depending on how you want to see it. Alright, now it's probably not going to be Francine. It's Frank Jr. Frank Jr. decided to take over. Where was I? I was feeding the birds. Making the birds happy. You can see our sorghum on the left over there. That's the hillside field that we just weeded. It's going to take most of this, or maybe it may take all of it. Okay, so not as much. Alright, that's fine. You know, I'm going to leave those out for now. I probably should turn off the tractor, though. But what I need to do is I need to come in here, I think. And double check that we get any offspring. Let's see, female, female. Yes, we got some males in here. We only got 13? Okay. We don't keep the males, we just want the females. And I think we got some ducks over here as well. If I can find the trigger, it should be right there. Males, yes. How many do we got in here? Whoops. 19. There we go. Because the males don't lay the eggs, apparently. And, of course, they don't reproduce, so they don't help us out at all. At all. Yeah, so I don't think I'm going to be cutting down any trees, but I will come over here anyways. Or maybe we'll cut down a few. Why not? We'll wrap up the episode by me cutting down a few trees. As to where I was trying to prove last time that these birch trees, sometimes when they fall, they like to get stuck into the ground. And then none got stuck into the ground. So, which is fine by me. One less hassle I have to deal with. Good, they're not getting stuck into the... Well, at least these aren't. But usually we start opening up the fields at the end of harvest season, and I got this good of a head start on this field here for this upcoming winter. My goal, and it's a pretty big goal, but we're trying to get to, you know, 1.8 million liters for harvesting next season. I kind of want to get on down to the sawmill, which, yeah, we can kind of see it through the trees. It doesn't seem like it's that far. And it kind of is until you start taking time and cutting down trees. It's going to take me a while to get there. And I think if I go as high as we got over there where those pine trees are and just keep cutting across, if I go over to the sawmill and open that much up for next season, that may get us to the 1.8 million harvest next year. But we can kind of gauge ourselves a little bit better once the harvest season is done here for this year. If we do get the 1.8 million, I don't get 1.8. If we get to 1.5 million at the end of this year, that means I just got to open up enough probably for another 400,000 liters. Because like I said, a lot of areas that we've opened up, we're getting 115%, yeah, 115% on the crop rotation yield. So that helps us out quite a bit. But as each year passes, the rotation is going to get lower and lower until it gets down back to 100%. And the combine needs to be unloaded again already, which is great. I mean, the more it does, that just means the more crop that we have. So I got to cut down at least a few trees, I guess. But, you know, every tree counts. Every tree counts. Every tree I cut down just opens up more and more land. Let me just get this one more in front of us here. I will admit, when I started this challenge a while ago, it definitely hasn't played out the way I thought it would. I mean, we're back to our original 10,000 birds, but I was not expecting to have to open up this much forest area. But that's the whole point of a challenge. Let's see, she made it that far, or no, sorry, he made it that far, because now it's Frank Jr. I said 40 minutes to harvest this field. It's probably going to take a lot longer than that. Was it an hour and 40 minutes maybe? I thought it was 40 minutes, but I don't think I'm going to have this field won't be harvested in 40 minutes. I think it's been almost 15 and we don't even have a headland done yet. And yes, no grain will be sold. Everything just goes right into the silo. So the good thing is we'll be able to keep track of how much we harvested this year by keeping track right in this total right here, which is right now 71,542 is what we harvested. So probably 700,000 liters off the field this year. That's what I'm guessing. Last year was 750 and we lost about 10% by the crop rotation. Just trying to get a little bit more grain towards the front. And you should have no problem getting started again because you don't really have a tree right next to the field. Yeah, you're good to go. You are fine. You can handle until I see you again. Of course, once one headling is done, then we're all set. Yeah, so yeah, the swaths. I'll have to look into that, see if I can get the course play worker to not put a swath down. But the problem is, I think if I change one setting and one let's play, it'll do it in all of them. I think. I'm not too sure. But yeah, harvest season has begun. I mean, we went from planting to harvesting. I don't really have a way to teleport up there, so let me just turn on fast running here. Let me just come up here and we'll see how the sorghum is doing. And you can see it has matured quite well. This should be ready in August, just a couple months away. And this yield should be pretty good up here. Like I said, I'm shooting for like 750,000 liters off of this. I'm hoping between these two fields, we may get to 1.5 million. And if we do that off of these two fields, I feel pretty good about maybe getting up to 1.8 million by next year without having to cut down too much more in the tree side of things. But anyways, that's where we're going to wrap it up for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always, and I'll catch you again right here in Oceanside Forest. But until then, have a good one.